I've been working on my game Midnight Dreams for about a month now. For those who haven't heard of it, it's a block pushing puzzle game with overlapping levels. You have to push blocks, open doors, traverse mazes, and then do it again across and between 3 layers of dreamscape. This video is a quick recap of everything I did this month, kind of compressing the previous 3 devlogs into one easy to swallow multivitamin of information. I'm also going to be talking a bit about the future of Midnight Dreams, but if you want all the juicy deets, do check out the previous devlogs. They ain't long. Anyway, onto the main event. The main event is a presentation. Now, I promise I'll make it interesting. So this is the first month of progress on Midnight Dreams. I'm going to be talking about what the game is, quick recap, what the plan was, current progress on that plan, and the future of the game. So Midnight Dreams is not that. So Midnight Dreams, as I explained earlier, is a block pushing game with overlapping levels. You solve box and button puzzles across and between 3 different layers or dimensions. You traverse shifting mazes which test your memory and how you adapt to changing circumstances, and you meet weirdo freaks, which is a very important feature. Now, what the plan was for the game? Well, I divided everything of course into the absolute basics, which is player movement, dimension hopping, level loading, etc, everything that's needed to make this a functional game. Then the puzzle elements, all the kinds of blocks, buttons, doors, teleporters, the Panadamas device, needless to say, all of the story, NPCs and thought bubbles that are having a dialogue system in place, character design, writing, and the polish, which includes bug fixing. Now, the idea on the first week was to get the absolute basics in place, to make a functioning prototype to start from and build up from there. Then on week 2, I planned on doing level design to create these first drafts of levels and to start writing. Then week 3 was the idea was to, refactor all code and fix bugs and everything. And this week 4, the idea was to plan for the next month. Now, this is sort of loosey-goosey in practice, right? It's not so strict, but this was the broad idea. Now, did I manage to do it? Well, the absolute basics are done, but I do need to refactor some of them to clean them up a little, make them a bit less spaghetti-esque. Then all of the puzzle elements are finished. Everything related to story and level design is in progress, in very early progress. And of course everything related to polish and bug fixing is being done as it crops up. It's not a priority at this very early stage of development. Now, on week 1 I spent about 16 hours working on the game. Then on week 3 I spent the least with 5 hours, and week 2 and week 4 I spent 10 hours, which is 41 hours, about 10.25 hours per week. This is crazy for me. I don't usually spend this much time. I can't concentrate for that long. So we'll see next month how this graph looks. Probably more like week 3 than week 1, but progress is progress, and it's been relatively steady, all things considered. Now let's talk about the future of Midnight Dreams. Well, generally speaking, the idea is to continue working on all of the content, to fix a handful of bugs which are game ending, which I will talk about soon in 2 slides, and of course to start thinking about getting a Steam page up and going. First of all, adding more content. There are currently 14 levels divided across the categories I set up back in the second devlog, but these are all first drafts. I need to polish them, fix mistakes, add intermediate levels between some of them to explain the puzzles better, and of course make more. Then step 2 is bug fixing. There is some code I wrote early on which seemed to work, and then I started making actual real levels and it stopped working, so I need to tear it down and start again. This is obviously a constant progress. This is obviously a constant process. I'll be bug fixing throughout the development of the game. But then step 3 is Steam. Now, before even thinking about launching the game, I need to playtest it. I've asked friends, I've asked family, they seem to like it, and they also found some pretty interesting things that I need to tweak. I'd also like to involve you as the viewer, and I talked a little bit about this in the third devlog, you can check that out if you want to, but I'm still thinking of the best way of getting the game to you. Maybe once it's fully finished, maybe a bit earlier, we'll see. Now, setting a Steam page as soon as possible is important for quote-unquote marketing, to start collecting wishlists, getting promotion, everything like that. I've gone through this process before, but it's still a big milestone which might cause people to wonder certain things such as, what's the release date? When's the game coming out? It's still very early. It's hard to say, but you know, you might say, okay, is there a release window? Is there sort of a general vague concept of when you want to release this? And the answer is yes. I'm hoping to release it in Q2 or Q3 of this year, maybe, possibly. I don't want to spend an entire year making this. I've already spent like 3-4 years on my previous game, and that was a platformer, so I'm not doing that again. Please no, don't make me. But yeah, that's the idea. We'll see how it goes. Now, if you have any questions, do ask away. Let me know. Thank you. This is so stupid. I thought it would be funny to do like a presentation format. What do you think? Please reach out to the comment section below. Let me know.